Good afternoon, everybody. This is day 3 for me on my 21 days of Facebook Lives, and perhaps even more depending on how I feel after that 21st day. I hope you are all having a lovely hump day Wednesday afternoon. Okay, we're back. Internet's a little shady in my home. I don't know why, but we're back. Okay, so as a hypnotherapist and coach and somebody who helps people manifest their dreams, this is a question that I get asked a lot, and feeling like I have, at 40 years old, finally in my life, discovered my purpose. I want to share with you some key questions to ask yourself. They're all based on things that I have asked myself in my life, and there's so much more out there too, but I feel like this is a really, really great space to kind of get yourself going and get things moving to find and discover your purpose. So I want to start out by telling you a bit about my story and how I got to where I am. Living in beautiful, sunny Southern California with a view of the ocean in my new home here, and feeling like I am living in my purpose. So my whole life, I believed that to live my purpose, it had to be in a job or a career. And I was never satisfied in anything I did for more than a few months or so. I have a degree in television production, and I had left the business very closely after I started, and became very disenchanted by that industry pretty fast. And I had hopped from job to job to job very often, until I finally, over 11 years ago, landed at a healthcare consulting company and did well there. I actually made the best money I ever have there, and was okay until it just started to feel unsatisfying, and I ended up with a lot of addicted behavior, and just feeling completely unfulfilled and unsatisfied. Hey everybody who's joining, say hi to me in the comments. I would love to hear what you think as I move along in this video. So I always was searching for this thing outside of myself to make me happy or feel fulfilled or feel like I was living a purpose in this life. And after doing a lot of soul searching and ending up with a pretty severe Vicodin addiction, multiple eating disorders, chronic migraine headaches that I had for 30 years life, and feeling like they were the worst they had ever been, the end of 2011 was actually when I chose to end that destructive habit and addiction of Vicodin on my own, and I quit cold. Hi Joel, I've had the same journey. I've been sober for 20 years now. Congratulations. That's a really long time. I'm now going on five and a half. Yeah, it's really difficult, and I'm sure anybody out there with any kind of addictions understands what that's all about. So I started meditating, and somehow I knew, and I'm probably going to do another video just about meditating, so I don't want to go too deep into that, but somehow I knew that that was the answer for me. And what that did for me was turn all of my awareness from out here to in here, and just listen and be present. And what happened is my intuition started kicking in, and I started listening to it and started paying attention to all of the signs in my life. And it was crazy. I had wanted to move to LA for, not specifically to LA, but move out of the Northeast general New York, New Jersey area for so many years, and I just never done it. Hi, Liz. Welcome. Oh, thank you. Oh, that means a lot coming from you, Liz. And I finally found the courage, and I'm going to tell more about that story another time too. I finally found the courage to actually go for it and do something I was terrified of, and go and move across the country. And then everything unfolded from there. Long story short, I discovered my purpose. And what is my purpose? I help people believe in their magic. That's it. And it's wonderful, and it makes me feel so freaking good to say that that is my purpose. And I don't feel that I need to get paid to do that. I actually do it every single day in my life. when I'm at the store and somebody needs a little pick-me-up or a little pep or something, or when I'm with my friends and we're having a conversation, any little thing I can say to inspire them makes me feel fulfilled and like I'm living my purpose. And so my definition of purpose has nothing to do with career or job or money. In fact, I feel like that's like the worst thing you can associate with your purpose. It doesn't mean that I don't have challenges or I have days where I feel like I'm a little bit unfulfilled. Life goes like this. It's like a roller coaster, up and down and up and down. And, but in general, I feel so happy and satisfied and like I am living a life of purpose. And it's not just also that I help people believe in their magic, but I don't limit myself to thinking one thing is my purpose. It's a lot of different things. And so I want to just move on to the questions now because they're all going to tie into my story too. So the first thing that you can ask yourself as far as at finding your purpose is ask, do you believe that it has to do with a job or career and that it has to be only one thing? If you do, then I would encourage you to shift your perspective and see more how you can live in a purpose from day to day and what makes you happy and what lights you up and what brings you joy. And to start seeing and shifting that perspective that your whole life is your purpose. Every breath you take, every move you make, every person you encounter, how can I live in my purpose every single day and every moment? So that's question number one. Yes, Liz, get into alignment first. Exactly. It's all about who you're being. So the second thing you can do is ask your heart, what is my purpose? And for some of you might not get that, it might be a little cheesy, but that's what meditation did for me. It got me into my heart. When I focused my awareness and my attention on my heart, it literally started speaking to me. And when I started meditating, visions started coming to me of me riding my bicycle on the beach. And it wasn't a beach in Jersey where I was living, I'll tell you that. It was clearly LA and clearly Santa Monica, the Venice Beach and Santa Monica Beach. And then the signs started coming into my life and I started moving forward and paying attention to the synchronicities and signs of where my heart was leading me. And when I sit down and meditate and visualize, I do the same thing. Sometimes I'll start thinking about the things I desire, but sometimes I let the desires come from my heart and come to me. And of course, living in gratitude. I mean, you hear about gratitude all the time, but I learned how to meditate from Dr. Joe Dispenza. I'm sure a lot of you know who he is. And that was the biggest thing with his meditations. Every single meditation, he taught us to end in gratitude, feeling gratitude about what we have. And that puts you into your heart more. And when you think about it, your heart is your closest connection to Source or God or the universe or however you see that one big thing that connects us all together. And the heart is the first organ that forms in the human body. If we want to start getting scientific, it's the first source of us in a being state in a physical body. And so your heart really does have all of the answers for you. Okay, the third question is, okay, what did I love to do as a child? So this is, for me, when I asked myself this question, yes, I did love to make people happy and make people smile. I was very much a helper. But also, I loved to dance and perform. And I would stop, it's so interesting, I would stop performing. I grew up as a gymnast and then I started dancing in high school. I was on the dance team in college and I would stop and then it would keep coming back into my life somehow throughout my life. And now at 40 years old, I'm a dancer. I dance with fire. It's ridiculous. I can't even believe that I do something like this. I never dreamed that I would be, playing with fire as one of my passions. But again, like I said, your purpose isn't only one thing. And so I realized that as long as I keep dance and play in my life and that I get my ass up on a stage every now and then to perform, I feel like I'm living in my purpose. Making people smile and inspiring people from the stage is one of the things that I love doing in my life. And getting to even just perform in my friend's backyard. Yes, Liz, I will show you how to perform. I would love to teach you how to play with fire. It's one of the most exhilarating experiences. And so you can ask yourself, what did I love to do as a child? What was I passionate about? And again, not from so much from a career perspective, but generally what was coming from your heart when you were a kid. Okay, so the next question you can ask yourself is to actually ask your family and friends what inspires them most about you. You know, they know you sometimes better than you do, and they can see parts of you that you can't even see yourself because you're hiding away from them. So your friends and family will give you great clues as to what you're genuinely good at, and maybe even help remind you the things that you're passionate about. And also think about, how do you solve problems for other people in their lives naturally? You know, take a good think on that one. And the next one would be, okay, what do you really want to do but haven't done yet? For me, moving was a big one. Like I just shared earlier in the video, I wanted to move for over 10 years away from the area that I was in, but it wasn't until I started listening to my heart that I actually found the courage to do it. And so think about what you really want to do and haven't done yet. A lot of the times, it's fucking scary. And you don't want to do it. And you will find all of the reasons in the world not to. But generally, that is a clue that that is where you need to start going in order to find your purpose, is to do shit that scares you. And I'm sure you've heard that one a million times before. Okay, next question. If you were to die tomorrow, how do you want to be remembered? That's an interesting one, right? You know, think about your funeral, your wake, and how people would be talking about you. You know, what do you want to be remembered for in this life? And that'll start to give you some meaning and remind you of some things that you're passionate about too, relative to your purpose. And so the final question that you can ask to find your purpose is, who do I need to be to live my purpose? And make sure you're being that person. And it just means really tapping in inside and asking, like, who do I desire to be every time every day that I wake up, every time I leave my home, every time I walk into work? Who do I desire to be? And make sure that you are constantly checking in with yourself and being that person. It'll get you out of victim mode. It'll get you out of blaming things. That was part of my video yesterday, but it'll get you out of that, victim mode and help you overcome challenges. When you feel and you wake up and you tap into the emotions every day of who you want to be and how you want to show up in the world, you will eventually start automatically just being that person. It's really that simple. And meditation and visualization was what helped me with that a lot too. My next video is probably going to be about that. But those are the questions to ask yourself to discover your purpose, and I would love your feedback on this. Have you asked yourself any of these questions? Do any of these questions resonate more than others? Do you have any more questions for me to go further in depth on any of these? Please let me know, you guys, in the comments. I love you all so much. Thank you for watching. Again, this is so uncomfortable for me doing these live videos, but I'm actually really starting to enjoy it now. Thinking maybe we'll do one with fire one day. Hopefully, if I can get that set up. Who am I kidding? I could totally get that set up. Did you see that? I can totally get that set up. I had the desire to do that, and I almost just questioned myself on whether or not I can do it. So silly. Anyway, I love you all so much. Thank you for watching. See you soon.